Hi everyone, MJ here. All right, we're on the 8th floor, downtown Bangkok, and we're going to do our first late night episode here with MJ Klein. And it's so nice to be here. I haven't been on the air much. I haven't been doing much of the late night chats, from Taiwan. It's been too busy. And I needed a vacation, man. And this is just what we needed. We did a bunch of cool stuff today. We went to the JJ Market, and no doubt you've been following. We went to the floating market recommended by our friend Dave in Osaka, and Dave is just a wealth of knowledge. He's been everywhere, done everything, and so we went to a market that he recommended. It was fantastic. Took a longboat ride. That's really funny because my daughter Phoenix has been saying stuff like, "I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that," and so like I wanted to take her on the Chao Phraya boat. Remember the night before we did the river boat ride? Oh, incidentally, I'd like to apologize for the title. It said the Grand Palace, and what happened was I had set up to do a Grand Palace stream and I didn't do it, and I had reset up the next title, and for some reason it didn't. I don't know. It didn't change. So anyway, I went back and edited it, but everybody, I think, was looking more at the Corona. What Corona? Oh, you mean oh, sorry. Yeah, the coronavirus. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Corona the beer. No, I have been. I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. We'll get to that in just a second. But Phoenix, my daughter, she didn't want to take the riverboat, and then we took a shuttle just right across the river from like the SkyTrain station over to the Icon Siam mall that she wanted to go to. She loved it, and then she wanted to take another riverboat. And I saw her. I told her about the I know. I told her about the longboats, and she didn't want to do that either. And then she saw a longboat today and said wanted to. So everybody wants to know about Corona. Yeah. Well, there's stuff about Corona that I know that maybe you don't want to know. But before we get into that, let's talk about my sponsor, ivideo.com.tw. This is the actual Wi-Fi box that we've been using. Got a really cool display here, and it tells you how much data you've used. This is good in 10 different countries in Asia, and it's available at ivideo.com.tw, and depending on the platform that you're watching right now, you can check it out in the comment, in the profile, or in the description. So we left Taiwan on the 21st in the evening, and we arrived in Bangkok before midnight on the 21st, and we stayed overnight in the airport. Just wasn't any sense of leaving. And I did my first live stream in the airport. But let me tell you, since we got in the on the plane, I didn't take my mask off the whole time. This guy here, yeah, it comes with a SIM. You go to ivideo.com.tw and you rent it, and you use the code that's in my profile or on YouTube in the description. You get 10% off. It's unlimited except 2 countries where it's limited by the country. For example, in Thailand, all SIM cards, whether you're Thai or not, are limited to 1 gigabyte a day. It doesn't shut off, it just throttles it. But if you go to Vietnam and some of these other countries, this thing is 4G unlimited all day. It's $5 a day. Can't beat it. My wife did some research. She said, "Yeah, I can find something cheaper." Nope. She found an 8-day SIM card. She found a 10-day SIM card. We're here for 2 weeks, and this is it. And it couldn't be any easier because I just told them to ship it to the airport. I went over to the Pelican Logistics. They're a shipping company. I weighed my passport, I signed a piece of paper, in 30 seconds I had it in my bag and I was done. And they give me a mailer too if I want to mail it. But when I get back to Taoyuan Airport in the Taipei area, I'm just going to take this over to Pelican, I'm going to hand it to them. Sign the paper, it's done. The cool thing is, due to international travel and dates, the date line and so forth, um, they they rent them. They'll send them to you in the States, or you can pick them up. When you land in Taiwan or in Asia. But the point is, on the other side of the date line, say for example, like what we did was, I needed to pick it up on the 21st, but I didn't want them to turn it on until the 22nd. So there are separate, pickup dates, pickup and drop off dates that are separate from the service date. So don't worry about paying, extra fees, for days that you're not going to use. You don't want to pay for it while you're in the air, going from the States or from Europe, over here. So anyway, so getting back to the mask and stuff. My wife's got a stack of masks this big, in a pack. I've been wearing them so long. I've been, it's comical because I was in Taiwan for the SARS epidemic, and we have actually, I wasn't planning on doing this, we actually have mask humor. Let me go get my mask. Just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. You're going to love this. Mask humor from Taiwan. All right, here we go. Now, I was driving around in Taiwan, and I was looking out the window, and I saw an old man with a mask on like this. He's got it on. And he's walking along, and I see him go like this. And then put it back up. I was coming to Taiwan actually during the epidemic, and I was told by the people that I was going to meet that if I didn't wear a mask, at least from Osaka, that they wouldn't let me in their house. So I put my mask on at Osaka at Kansai Airport, right? And I saw a group of people just off to the side, and they had their masks on. And somebody was taking a picture, and they went 1, 2, 3, chocolate, and they went, and they put the mask back on. So now here's what I discovered about the mask humor. Now, when people smile, naturally, their eyes narrow, right? You smile, somebody gives somebody a big smile, your eyes narrow, right? But you could be going, ew. But for all intents and purposes, it looks about the same. So I discovered that if I wanted people to smile at me, all I had to do was squint my eyes. So I just go like this and just go, and it looks like I'm laughing. But under the mask, I'm going. But they don't know because they think I'm laughing. See, like this. It could be a big smile, or it could be anything. Hey Chase, how you doing? It could be a big smile, right? It could be whatever. Don't know. So mask humor. So that's what we do. And so I walk around a lot of times like this because I want to take a drink. So here's the thing. I forget it. Forget it's there. So I'll be walking around somewhere. Chase, I'm doing great. Good to see you. Thanks for joining on Periscope. So, I'll be at a restaurant. Okay, so I'm at the tea shop, and, okay, so I'm at the tea shop, and we order tea and stuff. Sorry, I don't know why Prism is so touchy on the exposure. Anyway. So I wrote to Jake about it today, so he's going to look into it. So here I am. I'm not moving. I'm in a restaurant, so thanks. Not many people say I'm cool, but thank you, I appreciate it. So I'll be I'll be in a restaurant and I'll just go like this. I mean, I live in Taiwan. I lived in Taiwan for a long, long time. I've been wearing masks, you know, for 20 years, right? And people wear masks all the time in Taiwan. So, yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right about that, party. And we got bird flu and everything else. They say to cook the eggs, cook the pork really well. But see how I got this thing hanging off? Hey, how you doing? Is that Bushan? Oh, nice to see you, Bushan. Thanks, Chase. You take care. Fist bump. So, like, I'll be walking around doing stuff, and I got this mask hanging off my ear, and I don't even remember it. And people are looking at me, and I'm like, why are you looking at me? What? What is it? And I started looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I got a booger on my face or something, or whatever. And my wife will go. I'm like, okay. So put it back on. So I was on the plane going to Taiwan in 2007 during the beginning of the SARS outbreak, and I was on the plane. I'll never forget, it was a short hop from Osaka over to Taoyuan, the Taipei airport. And I'll never forget the girl's name tag, Yuda. She's really nice. And she was serving food. And she's got the cart. And she has a full mask on, and I'm not kidding, surgical gloves. And she said, would you like something? Okay, thank you. You have a good day too. Thanks for dropping in, Chase. So I'm looking up at Yuka, you know, she's beside me in the aisle with the cart. And I'm looking at Yuka, and I'm looking at my mask, and I'm looking at Yuka, and I'm looking at my mask. And then she finally goes, oh, okay. And no, I don't want anything. So I see everybody looking around all paranoid, but then I see a Taiwanese woman behind me. I just happen to notice, you know, she takes the mask off, drink of water, puts it back on. So, yeah, I read about that too. Yeah, thanks for bringing that in, Robert. Fortunately, the news reports say that nobody outside of China has died. But don't get me started, please. You don't want me to get started on this. This epidemic it started in December, and what you hear in the English-speaking world and what they're saying in the Chinese-speaking world are two different things. Let me tell you what I mean. Like BBC World Service will say that China refused to give the World Health Organization all the information, including samples of the virus. But in the Chinese-speaking world, they say, yes, we do. You mean deaths? And you mean so both. Actually, both. But let me tell you what happened, Louise. I read today that the mask doesn't actually stop the virus from getting in. But if you have it, it will prevent it from getting out and affecting other people. Not everybody knows that. This was a new report that I read today. But anyway, continuing with what I was saying was, in the Chinese-speaking world, it says that the Chinese gave the WHO an organism, but it was the wrong one. And let me tell you what I read today. I got to tell you something. The more the world goes on, the more it seems like Alex Jones is right. And that is what's scary. Because I read that an Indian scientist today discovered genetic components belonging to the HIV virus. Now, in the Chinese-speaking world, people are saying that this virus came from the military, the PLA. And so this Indian doctor came out today. You guys search this. Don't take my word for it. Search this. The Indian doctor came out today and said that he found that's okay. He found DNA components from HIV, and that the coronavirus actually responds to anti-HIV treatments, anti-HIV stuff. So yeah, okay, so yeah. Well, here's the thing. I guess it's a good thing I got my mask on, because what I'm about to say will probably get me banned in China. Not that I ever care to go back there again, quite frankly. I've been there 4 times. That's enough for me. But the communists are notorious for killing their own people or killing anybody for whatever. I mean, look at Chairman Mao and the Great March and 10 million people. I mean, come on. So this wouldn't surprise me, and I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if this was a test bed. So you want to destroy the world? Well, China just put like 900 million new people into the middle class. So just infect them and put them on planes and just let them go everywhere. So it's crazy. So yeah. Now I got a question for you. Okay. Is there any other virus that you know of that you can use HIV, anti-HIV drugs on and it works? So, yep, it can enter. Yep. Well, green arm lady, I'm not gonna disagree with that statement at all. So, I mean, if I had, I don't know, if I had chicken pox, would you give me HIV? Anti-HIV medication? And no, because it wouldn't respond to it. So what does that tell you? Anyway, I don't want to get too heavy. And you know what? I'm taking the mask off because you know what? I'm a renegade broadcaster. And I'm from the renegade province, Taiwan. Please visit our companion website, taiwanlive.tv. You can use the pull down menu. You can print out, you can look for the late night show. You can print out a nice PDF file. You can send us a postcard. You can send me an email, whatever you want. In fact, right here, what I can do is I can give you the information for the show right here. A rebel, yeah. Well, that's not a bad idea. I actually am drinking a lot of apple cider vinegar, and that makes me feel fantastic. But send a postcard, go to taiwanlive.tv, late night show. You can use the pull down menu. Click on mailing labels for postcards. And also our email is latenight@taiwanlive.tv. The country that I am in at the moment is, as the title says, Thailand. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I live in Taiwan, and I run a channel called Taiwan Live TV. So, I want to show you, well, I want to take a break for a second. We're going to run a bumper by my good friend Dave in Osaka, and here he is.
Hi, this is Dave in Osaka, live from Greenland, and you're watching Taiwan Live TV with MJ Klein.
Thank you so much, Dave. I really appreciate that. If you guys haven't followed Dave in Osaka, what's wrong with you? Where have you been? Dave is the best scoper in the world. He's on Periscope mostly, but he also does content on YouTube. And his Friday evening geisha spotting escapades in Kyoto are legendary. Right now he's in Laos. He was in Luang Prabang yesterday. I'm not sure where he is today, but I talked to him a little earlier, but I didn't know where he was. So yeah, all the major live streamers, we all know each other, and most of us have met in person. And I'm gonna take this up a little bit. Most of us have met in person. I've had the pleasure of meeting Dave before, and Jevons and John Sabo, and Yuka's been here like 4 times, and Casper, and you guys name it. So, all right, take care. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I'm adjusting stuff here. Naylin, thank you, and hope to see you next time. We're leaving Bangkok on Tuesday, and we'll be back in Taiwan. So you'll see me next week. So, well, thank you. It's a learned perspective from an old guy that's been around for a while. So what can I tell you? But we're on the 8th floor. The air is relatively clean. Over here was the oh yeah. The day I was in my studio, man, I knew something was wrong because my guitar started banging against the wall. They're hanging on hooks, and I thought it was going to knock one of them off and damage my recording console. But the last couple of days, over here, this has been really almost like foggy. It's been smog, but today it's pretty nice. And we had a really good time at the market, the floating market. And hey, Dean, how you doing? And I ended the broadcast as we were coming into the market because I didn't really know what to expect, and I wanted to end it in a controlled situation. Now, what I did do was, I videoed it. I videoed it in 60 frames per second, 4K high definition. Now, if I do this, and I go over here to media, I can find the last 3 minutes of that boat trip. Okay, and what I can do is I can show that to you right now, and you're not going to believe it. So this is 4K, 60 frames a second, but it's only going to be broadcast in 30 frames a second because that's the limitation on Periscope until the next update. But this is what it looked like going back to the dock and docking the boat. So here it is. Some of the vendor boats right there. So what he did was he passed the dock, and we're all wondering what you're going to do. And so, watch this. He takes this corner up here really tight, and as I recall, there's no bumper, man. It's like a bare concrete like corner. All he's going to do is scrape this, but he pulls right up into it, and then reverse the engine. See, and now he's backing out. I was wondering, how's he going to go down that canal? There's nothing there. There's a boat hanging on the side. You can't even go through it. But he's backing out. And he just turned around. He just basically did a 3-point turn. And he's going to go back to that section that we just came through. He's going to pull up to the dock here. This is one of the nicest places I've been in Thailand. Beautiful floating market. People really nice. And so here we are. And that's my daughter, and we're going to get out, and that's the end of it. So that was the end. That was coming up to the end of the dock. And so that's what that looked like. So now you get the exclusive behind the scenes of what happened after I stopped that broadcast. All right. So I'm just going to chill for a minute. Listen, what I'm doing is, I've always been a fan of Thai rum, and this is the Sangsam rum. And this is a like a white label. They've actually got it's a peel away. Didn't used to be like this. It's a film, but it used to be an actual label on it. And this is called, it says Moonism, but I don't know what that is. I've never seen this. It's been some time since I've seen a domestic Sangsam. We have the black label export version in Taiwan, and over the years it's been faked. It's not even real. It tastes terrible. This stuff tastes incredible. So I got a small bottle because I'm not going to finish the big bottle before I got to leave on Tuesday. But I am going to bring a big bottle back home with me to Taiwan. But we have the ubiquitous ice bucket here in Thailand. And we have, Schweppes actually makes a lemon soda, and they use the Thai word manao. Manao soda, that's how they say it in Thai. Manao soda. So this is a very, very low sugar. We call this lime, but they I'm getting confused with languages. In Chinese, they would call this lemon, but this is actually lime. And then also the notorious glass bottle. See, everything in Thailand has a lot of glass bottles. They've been doing this for a long time. This Sing company, this is soda water, and they do drinking water, and they reuse the glass bottles. You know, they don't crush them and recycle them, they just reuse them. So these bottles look pretty new, but often you'll find these bottles and they're all they have abrasion marks on them. You know, they've gone through the bottling line so many times, bumped into each other. But it's really nice not having all this plastic waste all the time. But then they have plastic bags, and everybody uses a straw for everything. Because I see people use straw. I've seen people drink Chang beer with a straw at a bar. It's pretty interesting. You see somebody with a bottle of beer and a straw in it. Okay, well, you know, okay, you're from Asia. Yeah, but that's how it is. But I'm just using my my flip top Contigo bottle here, and I made a little concoction with the Sangsam rum and the Manao soda and the soda water, ice, and I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in it, and boy, is it off the charts. So I want to thank everyone for joining. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around. This is the back of the room here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move the camera over here. There's a big building right beside me. And I'm going to show you out this way what the rest of the city looks like. And you can see my reflection on the rail here. That's what that is. You guys take care, and thank you so much for joining. It's been a pleasure having you this evening on the Late Night Show. We're going to do at least one more scope before we leave. On Monday, we're scheduled to go to some archaeological sites, and that's my thing. Archaeological sites and ruins are my thing, and so I'm looking forward to bringing these things to you. No contaminados here. It's okay, but I've been wearing a mask. But thank you for your concern. So I probably won't be on tomorrow, Sunday our time, but look for some interesting content from the from these ruins that we're gonna look at up north of Thailand. Thank you very much, Louise. You guys take care, and we'll see you later. Thank you so much. Bye bye. And that's what they call a wrap.